Hello, everyone. We have a little bit of news, and I just watched a news conference in the Cassie Carli case. I might be able to play it back for you guys on here, but I wanted to bring this to your attention. Obviously, I did a video yesterday on the timeline. Cassie Carli went missing a week ago. She's a 37-year-old mom. And she was to meet up with her ex to do a custody exchange of her little girl, Sailor, who's 4 years old. Well, Cassie didn't come home with Sailor. So after a day, this would be Sunday, March 27th, that she went missing. The next day, her father called it in. And then her car was found on Tuesday. Wednesday, the ex was found 4 hours away in Alabama, but he lives in Panama City Beach. And by the Friday night, he was arrested. So Cassie Carli, she was found deceased in Alabama. According to the authorities, she was found in a barn in a shallow grave. And they did the announcement today. So now Cassie's daughter, people are asking, Cassie's daughter, there was two answers that the officer gave. And at first he said she was not with family yet. And then it was asked again by reporters that she is with family. So it's a little confusing on there, but she's safe. She is safe. There's some interesting points the officer made. Number one, obviously, that Cassie was found in Alabama in a barn in a shallow grave. And he's in jail. Marcus Spanavello is in jail in Tennessee. They said they had surveillance on him, and that's when they arrested him, and they were keeping tabs on him. He did say, the officer said, that Marcus never cooperated. And what was interesting too, this is his exact words. He said he was acting like a dirtbag. Another thing that the officer said was, somebody asked about his upgrading the murder charges and whatnot. And he says, well, I hope this guy gets life in prison or the needle. And he says, hopefully the needle. So he also said that evidence-wise, it was pretty, what's the word? It pointed to Marcus, for lack of a better word. Tomorrow, on Monday, there will be an autopsy. And someone asked how she was identified, that, confirm it was Cassie. And he said there's a tattoo. Now, in my video yesterday, I talked about two tattoos. One she had on her lower back, and the other one was on her foot, which is of a little lizard. And together, it made a heart, the way the lizard was formed, and it made a half a heart. And her sister had the other half on her foot. So when they put their feet together, it formed a heart. And one of the sayings that she said, and her sister said, and her dad was, "Love you always." Yeah. Hi, Matt. Thank you so much. These have to stop. I love your channel, but too many. I know. It's enough. I know. That's 2 this week. We had Naomi Irion. She died. Well, I guess it would be a couple weeks ago, but we found out the information this week. And she was 18 years old. And now Cassie. So for those of you who are just climbing in, Cassie Carli has been found in Alabama. Now, it's so heartbreaking. And one of the things that I keep thinking about is her poor little 4-year-old girl who just wants to be with her mommy. And yeah, it's so sad. It's so sad. Cassie just started a new job the day before on Saturday, and she was excited about things. And, this Marcus guy has a little bit of a history. It was said not by the authorities, didn't say it, but it was said by Cassie herself, that there's been some issues and she's feared for her life. And if anything happens to her, to look to Marcus. So, you know, it's super sad. Hi, Mangley. I haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. Yes, thank you so much. Really sad news. When I was covering the case yesterday, I was working on a couple days, and yesterday when I did the video, I just had this feeling of actually a variety of cases. What's bizarre, it's in Florida, but you had that feeling of, oh man, he said he went to, a job in Alabama 4 hours away, which I believe he did work there from the sounds of it. But you have that kind of feeling of, oh my gosh, we heard this in Barry Morphew's case. And then you hear the chitter chatter about Marcus's history, and it's never good, right? If a woman or a man, but if somebody's fearful of their life, the first places you're going to look is the spouse, regardless if it's the husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, right? So Caroline says, what's going to happen to little Sailor? I think the family is working on it. I know before Cassie was found, they were working on at court or papers or documents, something I read about that they're working on getting her. So hopefully that will be okay, and all will be well on that. But my goodness, when you think about it, that's 4 hours away. So Navarre Beach in Florida, and then 4 hours to Birmingham, Alabama, and then another few hours. He was caught in Lebanon, Tennessee. I saw this morning. I was mapping it out because I was going to do a video on the arrest, and then this news conference came. So I don't know. It's so sad. It's so sad. Let me show you guys. I'm going to see if I can pull this up. I should be able to, so that you could see. Just bear with me while I grab it. Now, I don't know which tattoo she was identified with. The officer did talk about there was a identifying tattoo that he said, not everyone gets it at that. We have the non-muffler guy driving by. Never stops that guy. Let's see if I have the tattoo. I thought I put it in my video yesterday. I was pretty sure I did, so I don't know where it went. But I will. Yeah, it's not wanting to go up. Yeah, wrong thing. Okay, so that's okay. We'll just keep chatting. I'll go back to the comments for a second. It is devastating. Okay, so thank you guys. I'm just catching up here. So it was interesting. He did say acting like a dirtbag. Now, do you guys want to see the press conference if I can get it to replay? Yeah, there was mixed reports, Camilla, that it was saying Sailor was 3 and Sailor was 4, but the officer said today in the press conference that she's 4. So I did tons of different gathering of different links and news and trying to put all the pieces together, because I know some of the news were wrong about what they were reporting, but that's why I gather all the kind of news to make sure, everything's the same. And I did see a couple articles saying 3 years old, but that might have been because it was just in the beginning of the investigation, and then over time everybody said 4. So absolutely, Mocha. It's so sad. This 4-year-old little girl just breaks my heart, and I pray she did not have to see anything. I pray she didn't have to see anything. Yeah, Cindy says, what is super sad is that we hear so much of this lately, but think about all the loved ones that go missing that doesn't make national news. I agree. It's so hard too, right? I mean, I can only report in what is being reported. But there's so many, here in Calgary, they had a woman last week, or I guess it would be 2 weeks ago now. She was walking to work at 5:30 in the morning, minding her own business, had her little coffee in her hand. She went to work, and right before she got to work, some guy came up to her and stabbed her to death numerous times. Random. Officers came out that he actually didn't know her. It was random, a random attack. Young girl, I think she was 29, in and around that area, was a personal trainer at a place downtown, and she was just walking, minding her own business, and some random dude came up to her and killed her and stabbed her repeatedly. And, there's tons of this. I have officer buddies, I have medic buddies, I have firefighter buddies. Like, there's all kinds of crap that goes on, and I hear all kinds of things. It's crazy. So now this guy, the officer did talk about Marcus Spanavello and said he was acting like a dirtbag. So we heard a little bit about that, and there was a woman or a friend named Sam Porter, and I read that Sam was told by Marcus that he dropped no, the father was told by Marcus, hold on, because it's gonna be like telephone tag. The father was told by Marcus that he dropped Cassie off at Sam Porter's house, which is a load of BS, obviously. But there was so many shady things right from the beginning, right? That phone, and the family knew. They said red flag everywhere. Then this guy, I don't know. Let's see if I can get his picture. Let's put his ugly mug up. You guys can see him. If it'll work for me. Yeah. Anyway, for some reason it's not pulling up. I'm sure I'll figure it out in a minute. I want to focus on you guys. So, and he did say life in prison or the needle. Hopefully the needle, he said. It was tough on them. Obviously it's tough. Any responder, it's the family that's tough, and the responders, the first responders, it's tough on them. I've said this quite a few times. If you're new here, you may not know, my husband is a paramedic and he sees some crazy things. Our friends see some crazy things, and it sticks with you. It's not something that, like, it's part of your job, so you have to deal with it. But at the same time, it's not easy. And then you come home with it, right? And now you see a mama who, just wanted a better life. She just got a job. Cassie just got a job at the Air Force Base as a server the day before. And she was so excited about starting her life and getting back on her feet. And this guy, who's a piece of work, was playing games before, surprise, surprise, and decided to take his matters in his own hands as well. So they did, yes, it's confirmed that they did find Cassie Carli. Cassie Carli was found in Alabama. The officer said she was found in a barn and in a shallow grave. So, yeah, he changed the exchange place at the last minute. So, and the little girl is said to be safe, and he said two different things. Like, the first one was she was with family. No, the first one said she's not quite with family yet. And then the next one, he said, yes, she is with family. So I think they're just trying to figure out the whole custody thing and how that works, even before Cassie was found. So they were worried about it. So Cass, thank you so much, Cass. I appreciate that. It's cute little ears there, cat ears there. Yeah, so I can try and see if we can, let's see if I can pull this in, okay? I'm gonna see if I can, and then you guys can watch it instead of me repeating myself. You know word for word what he says, if you're okay with that. Okay. Yeah, she said she was scared of him. The family said, you know, it's pretty weird what's going on as well. That she was acting a little bit, I can't remember the word. Just there's something off, you know. And then she left and she said to her dad, "Hey, I'm just gonna going to Juana's and I'll be right back." And then she wasn't right back. It angers me, these situations. I'm sure you guys too. Welcome, Sassy Pants. Welcome to the crime ring. Okay. Here we go. There's just a few things open, guys. Sorry about the silence. Okay, here we go. Let me know if there is any weird, you know, feedback or whatever as well.
And if I'm in y'all's way, just tell me. Don't worry about it.
Should start any minute here.
Development.
There we go.
All right, thank you all for coming out. We have had a development, in the missing person case in Lamar. First off, I'm joined by, Mark Alderman from the state attorney's office. So Cassie Carli, who's been missing now for about a week, we discovered her body while executing a search warrant in Alabama. It was in a barn in a shallow grave. So it's not the ending that we wanted, obviously, but we're hoping to provide a little closure for the family. And also, as you know, as we reported earlier, the suspect is currently in jail in Maury County, Tennessee, on charges of tampering with evidence and giving false info reference missing persons investigation. Our major crimes unit, I can tell you this, I've never been more proud. States traveled over 1,500 miles in a week, searching for evidence in reference to this crime. So I want to thank them, but I also want to thank FDLE, FBI, Fish and Wildlife, Tennessee Highway Patrol, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, Alabama Investigation Division, St. Clair County SO, Alabama, Springfield PD, Alabama, Walton County.
She was killed.
No, the autopsy will reveal that tomorrow.
Has he been cooperative with this investigation? And
Absolutely not.
what was the tip, or what was the information that led you guys to this place in Alabama? Are you guys revealing where she was found exactly, or?
No, and we're not revealing how we found that location either right now. So you got to remember, it's an ongoing investigation. So we can just tell you that we had information that led us to that place. We got a search warrant and we discovered the body.
And I'm sorry, you may have said it, but her body was found overnight or this morning, or?
It was found yesterday evening.
Is the shed connected at all to Mr. Spanavello?
It is in a roundabout way, but we can't get into that, but he does have a connection to the property.
Are you able to say if the body was found like out in the open or covered or anything like that?
No, shallow grave.
Regarding the previous charges, can you get it all into what evidence he tampered with and what evidence he might have destroyed?
Yeah, it was in reference to the victim's phone. He took her phone and basically got rid of it.
Okay.
Were you guys able to ever locate the phone?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Where?
We're not gonna go into that.
And how did he lie to investigators? What did he lie about?
He lied a couple of times actually in different scenarios, but, what was the exact thing?
We just uncovered clear and convincing evidence that the information he gave us was materially false, that we were able to confirm.
How did police encounter him yesterday? Was this during a traffic stop or?
Yeah, actually, our detectives went to Tennessee and got with the Tennessee Highway Patrol and Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, and they did surveillance, found him, and took him down on a traffic stop and arrested him.
So obviously Thursday, when you guys had the other press conference, it was clear that he was a suspect or a person of interest. You guys were keeping tabs on him,
Right.
and you feel like he was on the move and a flight risk? Do you think he was trying to leave or hide or?
Well, I can't speak for his thought process. I can tell you this, he was totally uncooperative. He never cooperated at all with us. And that goes a long way. I mean, you think about it, it's your baby's mother and she's missing and you're not gonna cooperate with authorities. That's kind of telltale.
At this point, and you may have said it, forgive me, but the child, where is she? And I know she's safe, but is she back with family or is she still in custody?
Not yet, but we're working on that as we speak. But yeah, she's been checked on by the Tennessee Department of Children and Families and she's safe.
I know you said he wasn't cooperative. Is he speaking now that her remains have been discovered?
No, all he said was lawyer. That's all he said.
And does he have any known criminal history with this department or any other that you know of?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
In terms of extradition, when can we expect him back here, or is he fighting that?
Mark?
Obviously, he's in Tennessee right now. We will know very shortly as to whether he's going to waive extradition. If he does not, we'll have to submit paperwork to the governor's office and do a governor's warrant.
And that could take up to, that could be a process.
It can be a process. Usually we have about 30 days to do it. We should know within the next couple of days as to whether or not he's going to fight extradition. So if he is not waiting extradition, it will take a little longer. But it's a pretty routine process going through the governor's office.
And at what point will he, I know you said the charges will obviously be upgraded. Will it be once he gets back here, or it could be before then?
At this point, as the sheriff said, the autopsy is likely going to be tomorrow, which will reveal a great deal more. As soon as we know more, we will file the appropriate charges. And we've been in consultation with the DA's office in Alabama. As soon as we know more, we'll figure out what to charge and where to charge.
Do you guys believe he acted alone?
Yes.
Yes.
Was he alone at the time of his arrest yesterday?
Yes, he was. And, you know, as for extradition, when you say, will he waive extradition? You know, since we've been dealing with him, he's been acting like a dirtbag. I don't see that changing, so I'm sure there'll be an extradition process.
Do you have any history of Cassie complaining about him or any domestic incident history involving the pair?
I was told by somebody that she had applied for a DVI before. I don't have specifics. No.
And just another question, the conditions of Sailor, was she unharmed, completely safe when you saw her last, and does she remain so?
Well, we never saw her, but the Department of Children and Families in Tennessee were the ones that responded out and said that she was unharmed and in a safe environment.
I know it was asked on Thursday, but do you guys believe that the little girl may have witnessed anything or possibly could provide information for the investigation?
I mean, she's 4 years old, so I don't know that she saw anything. We don't have that information yet, but, you know, her being 4 years old, I don't know how much info we can actually get out of it.
Did someone from your sheriff's department notify the family, and if so, how did that go? Was that in person?
Yeah, in person, I did it this morning.
How did that go?
As you would expect it to. They're crushed. I mean, it gives them some closure that they know where she's at now, but still it's their daughter. I mean, daughter, sister, and it is terrible.
Was it difficult for you to do that?
It always is. But I mean, she was a citizen of mine, so I'm obligated. And it's not something you look forward to do as a detective or as a sheriff. It's horrible.
You had said on Thursday, when asked about the investigation, that the whole major crimes unit, I believe you said 10 or 11 investigators, that was their sole purpose in finding Cassie. Talk again about that, just the fact that you guys weren't giving up and that you did find her.
Yeah, and like I said, they went over 1,500 miles in this investigation, multiple search warrants on cars, phones, houses, properties. I just cannot speak enough about them. Very little sleep, traveling all over the place. And we've got them in Tennessee, we got them in Alabama, Panama City, and they're all working as one team. And it came to this conclusion, which, we hate it that Cassie has passed away, but it's good to get closure for the family, and it's good to keep this dirtbag in jail where he belongs.
Since her remains were found in Alabama, are all these agencies still going to be with the investigation, or is it kind of just going to be?
Well, yeah, they're still helping us, and they've been a great help. Like, up in Tennessee where the truck is, they're taking care of forensics up there, and they're helping us with that. And of course, the FBI and FDLE are great at offering their services as well. So it's kind of a team effort here. But we have definitely got a great case. I think once the autopsy's done and you see the charges filed, you'll understand. But I think we have a great case, and I think he's either going to spend the rest of his life in prison or he's going to get the needle. So hopefully the needle.
So you said we're not able to know exactly where the child is. It's with DCF, or she is with DCF.
No, she's not with DCF. She's with a family right now, but they checked the family and they checked the location, and she is safe.
And sorry, another question coming in. Do you expect she'll be charged with murder?
Well, I'm not going to speak for the state attorney. They're the only ones that can charge somebody with murder. But after looking at what I've seen evidence-wise, I think it's, definitely.
Tomorrow, you guys think you'll have a cause of death?
Yeah, the autopsy's done tomorrow. It's going to be done up in Alabama. And once we get the results, that will be immediately forwarded to the state attorney's office, and we'll do what we need to do.
Now, I'm sorry to be redundant, but
No.
just to absolutely confirm, this
Sure.
body has been confirmed as being Cassie's.
Well, when I say that confirmed, it's been confirmed by a tattoo. Okay, so it's not like dental records or fingerprints or anything, but it's a very, very, it's a tattoo in a place that normally you don't have a tattoo.
And in the custody exchange in a public place, do you have any recommendations for other family members to do the same or to go to a different location?
Yeah, well, no, public place is always good, but time of day matters as well. If it's dark, if they're parked in a secluded part of a parking lot or something. And when I say do your exchange in public, I'm thinking, 4 o'clock in the afternoon at a Walmart parking lot, broad daylight, that kind of thing. That's what we mean when we say in public. So it's just, if you have to exchange kids, I would say broad daylight, big parking lot, lots of people, that's public.
You said on Thursday that you guys were looking over surveillance videos. Some of it was good, some of it was bad, dark, whatever. What has that been able to produce for the investigation? Are you guys still combing over that, or?
We are, and there's other things that keep coming in. We get tips all the time about, hey, he was in this store or he was here, so now we have to go there and review video footage, and so it's ongoing. Just because he's in jail, it's not over until he goes to prison, then it's over. So we're still doing a lot of investigating. Anything else? Thank y'all for coming. We appreciate it.
All right. There we go. So that was the press conference that was held today at 2 p.m. Florida time. He did say a few things in there more than what I said in the beginning. I was trying to scribble down a bunch of notes as I was going, and he did say that he got rid of the phone and they found it. And that the only thing Marcus said was lawyer. Hello, Tiara. She says, we'll never understand why these sickos think that killing and facing life in prison is better than just walking away entirely, tired of these outcomes. Yeah, we're all tired of that. This week is what, the second one that I've covered that ended in tragedy for two women, 18-year-old Naomi Irion and then Cassie Carli, 37-year-old mom. And I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. It's just getting worse and worse. Some people are saying, well, maybe it's because we hear more about it or that it actually is getting worse. You know? The other thing is they don't think he had previous criminal history. The one thing I did read that, I mean, it wasn't a big deal in my opinion, but they did report on it. Let me read it, because he had some sort of speeding ticket in December. I pulled that up. I think that was early this morning when I woke up. Things are starting to melt together if it was last night or this morning. But I was getting ready for this next video. Obviously, it's a little bit different and we're doing this live stream. But it says he got a ticket on December 15th, 2021, when he was stopped for driving 97 miles per hour in an area zone for 70 miles per hour. So it says Alabama court records show an arrest warrant for Spanavello was issued in March after he failed to show up in court in St. Clair County on a speeding ticket. So that's what I saw in my research and no other stuff. But I mean, just because he doesn't have a history at court or with the officers doesn't mean he isn't doing what he's doing. If he is abusive, well, I'm thinking there's going to be other people coming forward saying, potentially that, yeah, like it's like that to me too. He'll be having updated charges. We'll hear, I guess, once the autopsy's complete, we'll hear everything. Because right now, as of, let's say, yesterday, before they found Cassie, he's charged with tampering with evidence, giving false information concerning a missing person investigation, and destruction of evidence. That's what he's currently charged with until these upgraded charges will be coming. And thank you, Tiara. If I didn't say thank you already, I really appreciate it. I just want to say thank you. Make sure I said that. Yeah, Naomi was also found. Somebody's wondering what was going on. Naomi was also found not far away from where she went missing. And that guy ended up SAing her and killing her. So, yeah, I think sailors, so Cassie's family is working on getting Sailor. That's what I heard before from Rayanne, who is Cassie's sister. She was saying she was working on getting that together to get Sailor. So now that this has transpired, I'm sure that's just going to keep going and they're going to try that. They did not say where they found the phone, but that they found it. So, yeah, it's super sad that they're finding more and more people are going missing. More and more people are getting murdered. It's hard to go out even to the grocery store these days, isn't it? You feel like you can't even go out because there's creepos everywhere. And not only that, it's not even strangers too. It's right within your own home too. Nothing But Love says, thank you, Linda, for taking the time out of your day and away from your family to cover and share this with all of us. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Nothing But Love, for your donation. I really, really, truly appreciate it. And all of you guys hanging out with me today. Unfortunately, it's not good news. I so hope that there, obviously we all hope there's good news. I remember when little Cleo was found in Australia, that was a case where she was abducted, and what happy news it was that she was found and she was okay, and you just hope and pray that it's like that for these people. And then you find out that they're found in a shallow grave and just discarded like they're, like they're nothing and like they're garbage, and they're not. And all these people around who love Cassie, her little girl, I can't stop thinking about that. It's just like, your 4-year-old who wants her mommy now is going to grow up, go to school without her mom, go through all these phases of life without your mom there. And then you have this little memory because you're 4 and you barely remember who your mom is when you grow up. It's so sad. It's just heartbreaking. And then that guy, Marcus, I mean, did you see let's show you his booking photo. There's something wrong with my computer. Pull it up. I'm going to pull it up on my phone so you guys can see it. And I'm not sure if he's mad because he got caught or just mad because he's still mad. Whatever he's mad about. I mean, loser, super loser. Let's see, booking photo. I'm surprised there's not more articles and pictures about him. Usually when it comes out, they're everywhere, and I haven't really found that yet on this case. I mean, the quick thing is, or the good thing is, in some aspects, like the officer said, that she was found quickly. Because one of the things that I'm learning from the families who have missing loved ones is that it's absolute hell not to know where their loved one is. And some are still searching for their loved ones. There's Gannon right here, right there. He was found not far from where she went missing. He was found in Pace, Florida. And so, yeah, and this is the things a lot of people are saying, he's a creep. How dare anyone do that to the mother of his child? I mean, how do you even look at your child? It's kind of like even with the Daybell case and all that, right? You have family, just family looking at that. Yeah, I can't pull up his booking photo now. Why is that? It's so weird. Usually it's plastered everywhere. Okay, maybe this will do it. Well, here's what he normally looks like, but his booking photo is a lot angrier. Usually it's plastered, like I said. Yeah, they usually do. Don't you find that, Stephanie May? They usually have an empty look right after that. We saw that with Letitia Stout. Her face after, it was, it was just evil. Yeah, it's not good. It gave me chills when I was doing the video yesterday. It had, different elements from different cases that I've personally covered. And I was thinking, man, it just gives like Barry Morphew kind of vibe about going to a different job site. Like, oh yeah, that's where I work. And then I thought, well, why are you working in Alabama if you have your little girl? Who's watching the little girl? And I'm asking all these questions, right? So, oh, thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. Okay, Stephanie came to the rescue to send it to me. I don't know where it went, and it doesn't work on my computer because I think it's a different format. So let's see. There we go. Take a look at this shot. Let's make this big for you. Look at that. Look at them apples. Just disgusting. So now we know. I will double check with the times for when his butt's gonna be in court. I'll put a little bit of a note on that. Tomorrow, Cassie will have her autopsy, and so we'll find out when they announce it. I'm wondering if they'll do another press conference. Most likely, I think they will. Sometimes they don't, but maybe they will, and we can figure it out. I know, see, it's just crazy with these. Yeah. Usually after something like that, they do look like that for some reason. Well, you know, I shouldn't say for some reason, but you know what I mean. Yeah. So, do you have any other questions or comments you'd like to vent on here? Because we need to vent sometimes, don't we, when we see this and it just ends up horrifically. I will give them that. The authorities, man, that was quick. That was really, really quick for them. They said over 1,500 miles they covered in a week. No sleep, just work, and trying to find her. Christy says, I'm trying to find the words, but you just said it all. Poor little girl. Cassie's family, all of them have had their hearts ripped out. Yes, absolutely. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine losing a child for his Cassie's dad. And I'm not sure about the mom. I haven't heard much about the mom, but, just to even find that out. And then losing a family member in general is so tough. And then when you lose it to something like this is terrible. Thank you, Christy, for your super chat. I appreciate it. He's not talking. The only thing he said was lawyer. So I guess he's going to get that. They found evidence. They said the officer sounded quite confident about the evidence. So that'll be interesting to see what that was. Hi, Diane. Yes, I will. Once that comes out, I will put that either in a video or in a live stream, and we'll see what the cause of death was. Yeah, it's been over 2 years now. A lot of the OG people are in here. I appreciate all of you. Even my guests today, I appreciate you as well. It's nice to be in a group and be able to chat about these things. They're quite upsetting, right? I think that's the biggest thing I've seen for sure in the last 2.5 years when it comes to hearing all this news and hearing the horrific things. And some people will get, anxiety over it. Some people watching will be angry. It's kind of like a host of different, emotions, and hard to process sometimes. I know years ago when I was watching the Chris Watts case, and years ago, I mean, I've been watching since I was 15, like the O.J. Simpson, all that. But especially with Chris Watts there, I had to take a break from it and couldn't follow it anymore because my heart was just getting too battered on that, I can't do it. So a lot of people lose sleep. A lot of people, it's a lot to take in, and you just want to take in some happy stuff sometimes, right? Like the little news of Cleo, finding her. Why does it have to always end up so tragic? But I think it's important too that we do know about these cases. Maybe it'll give us a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more awareness. So when we're out walking and we're out, this is pertaining to, I guess, strangers. When we're out in public, when we're out, we'll be able to say, okay, you know what? I got to be careful of my surroundings and not stick my face so much in my phone or whatever it is, right? hindsight obviously is 2020. And sometimes in small towns, you don't even think of it. You just kind of do what you do and no big deal. But somebody could be watching. I know of situations where, you know, you hear about something, like take the case of Naomi, where you hear she's just hanging out in a car waiting for a shuttle. And then you have to second guess now, okay, now that I know that information, maybe I could be more aware. So in some ways, it's good for us to hear about these and see these cases so that, you know, we can make some decisions on our own life. But at the same time, it sucks to hear that, you know, it sucks. And the family's going through hell. Like I said, it's one thing when you lose somebody's always hard. And then to lose somebody tragically like this, and sometimes they don't even know where their baby is for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You know, parents can be gone and in 50 years they finally solve it with DNA, but it's hell. The family members that I've spoken to in some of the cases that I've covered, they just say, Linda, it's hell. Limbo is hell. That's all they say. They always, you know, kind of say it around like that. It's just not knowing is hell. Thank you, open-minded. Thank you. So I don't know, has this give you guys some awareness with these cases where you maybe double think what you're going to do or double check, you know? Oh, Dr. Edward, nice to see you and your wifey, Julie. Thanks for being so kind and professional, Linda. You truly give so much love to those missing, lost, but not alone. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's tough. It's so tough. And welcome, Terry. Welcome to the crime ring. Yeah, Amy says, I'm so disgusted as for the way these people have no value for life. It's not a video game. We can't bring them back. Yeah, a lot of these people are lost souls. They are lost. If people knew, you know, their path, they wouldn't be doing this, that's for sure. It's so sad. Good. Some people, yes, it gives me, Jody says, gives me awareness. Discerning light for sure helps with awareness. Yeah, you know, sometimes I know, like when I go through these cases, I look at, okay, what's the population, right? Let's figure out the population. Go to the population. It's like, man, there's only 4,000 people there. Oh, there's only 2,000 people there, 1,000 people there. And it's so easy to think, well, small town, nothing's going to happen, right? That just happens in the big cities. But that's kind of like saying, well, it won't happen to me, you know? Yeah, right, it won't happen to me, and then it does. So I think in one hand, it does give the awareness and you know, it helps in some aspects. It does the opposite because mental health is so important. And then if you're immersed in all this all the time, right, that can play a big part in your mental health as well. You might think, nah, it doesn't affect me too much. But then over time, you're realizing things, you know, aren't good, or things are bothering you, or you can't sleep. I mean, how many people in here have a hard time not sleeping, just watching, you know, the true crime? But at the same time, I know a lot of us want justice, right? We want justice. We want to see what's going on. We want to know, and we want to see that person, whoever it is, that person be held accountable for their actions. And then we want to see it through, right? Yeah. So it's tough. I see some of you guys saying terrible insomnia. Yeah. But we just keep going, right? I mean, even for me, starting the channel, I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know what I was getting into. but I knew I wanted to help and I knew I wanted to contribute. But there's days where, like, I started the Gannon case very early on, and I'm still rattled about his case. Here, see this guy here? His name's Marshall Owasa. He's still missing. He's still missing. His sister, his mom, don't know where he is. They're in hell. He's from Calgary, and he's still missing. Yeah, a lot of us want justice, right? I mean, there's good that comes from it. There's the community that comes together. I know in Naomi's case, they were saying, can't believe the community has come so much together. And Rayanne said the same thing, Cassie's sister, that, you know, it's amazing. She says, it doesn't surprise me. She knew, but she said at the same time, it's amazing to see all these people come together. You know, yeah, there has to be balance. And everybody in here, this is something I'm learning too, is we can't just look at this 99% of the time and not do anything for ourselves and take some time. I'm learning how to balance. For me, it's just like, okay, we got this case. I need to go and I need to blah, 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 and work 24 hours, 24/7 till this person's found. And then what happens is I burn out, and then there's no, my cup's empty. So I'm learning how to do a little bit more balance. You don't see me doing a video every single day right now. And if I do, it's because if I do a video every single day, it's because I streamline my process, which I'm working on. But everybody has to take care of themselves. Everybody. And then, I don't know, maybe we won't see so much of this stuff either. Somebody's asking about Holly Clark. Oh my goodness. No, she's not missing. They found her. They did find her. Yeah, there's a couple things. Actually, the hat, where are you here? For safety, people need to turn on GPS tracking and give their family access to allow location sharing on their phone. I've seen a case, I think it was about a year ago, I want to say. There was a case that their family did just that and was able to locate their family member that way because they had a plan and they all shared it with the family. One of the things to be careful about right now is these Apple AirTags. Given in the wrong hands, these guys, or people, I should say, because maybe it's girls too, but from what I'm reading in the news, it has been men that are putting these Apple AirTags in the pockets of women's jackets, or they're putting it on vehicles and tracking the vehicle. So that's kind of scary, and that's something to be very, very cautious about. Is double check, because apparently what's happening, and I'm not too familiar with these Apple AirTags. I know the gist of what they are, but they're putting it in there, and then the person is actually getting a notification on their phone, and they look, and sure enough, they found an Apple AirTag. There was a woman who was a model of some sort. I don't remember if it was New York or whatever, but she went out with her friends, and she went to a couple different spots. She was out with her girlfriends, and then she was walking home. And when she got home, she found this Apple AirTag there, and she was married. So her husband ended up finding it and then, chucking it out the window or something like that, just because it was freaked them out. Yeah, okay, there you go. Your phone will alert you if there's an unknown AirTag around you or close by. And that's what happened. It alerted her, and she's like, what is this? And then figured it out that it was in her jacket pocket. So somebody slipped it in her at some point during the night and was following her home. Scary, so scary. Exactly. Alyssa says, Elnaz Hashtamiri is a victim, exactly what you're talking about. I did a couple videos, I think I did one, maybe two, on Elnaz. Her name's Elnaz. And she's in Canada, and there was trackers on her vehicle. a couple times. So you got to be careful on that as well. Dr. Edward says laws for parental exchange of a child in a public place, fire station, police department, and many other places, public safety for moms. Yeah, one of the things that they did say in the news, not the press conference today, in regards to Cassie Carli, was they always chose a public place. Typically, it was a Walmart, and they did say that it was very dark where the parking lot was of Juana's Grill. And that's where Cassie met Marcus. She's very aware of Juana's, and she knew of it. And there's a big parking lot, usually a lot of people. But that was what it was said was very dark. Now, I want to double check. If anybody's in Florida, I'll look it up. You guys can probably give me the answer. What time does sunset happen in Navarre, Florida? 7:08. And she went at 7:00. So this was a week ago. So yeah, about 7:05 or whatever would be a couple of minutes before. So it was dark. It would be dark out in Navarre when they went and did the exchange, and he probably knew that. And thank you, Dr. Edward. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, this guy's, it's interesting. It's interesting in what we're hearing and the lies he was spinning regards to Marcus right from the beginning, because he had texted Rayanne, Cassie's sister, and he texted their dad, and he's making up some cockamamie stories, oh yeah, she wanted to be dropped off, she just went crazy and went, yeah, okay, and her purse is sitting in her vehicle, and she's gonna get dropped off somewhere. Yeah, I'm sure there's just some weird things. It's a dark parking lot, but really open. Yeah, I was showing that in my video as well. Oh, Kimmy didn't get a notification. That's bummer. I know, it happens. That's so sweet, Jackie. I wish I could stay all night. Love this channel. Well, we are happy you are able to join us even for a short amount of time. I won't be on here all night, so you're okay. Yeah. That's right. Sassy Pants is correct on that. You can't deny visitation just because support isn't being paid. That's 100,000% correct. So now there's some people who can be adults and have, visitation go smoothly. And then there's some that end like this. I know, this is so sad. You know, a week ago, she had both, and now. Yeah, there was some talk about previous domestic violence. Days of Sadie says, where was she found and who found her? Police found her. Cassie was found in a barn in a shallow grave in Alabama, 4 hours away from Navarre. Thank you, Janice. It's not his barn. The officer said in a roundabout way connected to him. So, yeah. You know, it's kind of the same. I guess it was only 4 hours away. Letitia Stout drove Gannon like miles and miles from Colorado to Florida. He was found in Pace, Florida. It's kind of had elements of different cases in this one. We'll find out tomorrow if anybody's wondering. We will find tomorrow the autopsy on Cassie, and then I'm sure we'll hear the upgraded charges. So, one sec, guys. There we go. Chrissy, who was found in Pace, Florida. Oh, that would be Gannon Stoke 2 years ago. He was found. One of the things he did say in the press conference as well, he was talking about the search warrants. He said cars, phones, houses, properties. So that's a big week. I mean, Monday, they got the phone call. They found the car Tuesday. They found Marcus on Wednesday and Sailor. And then in the space of a few days, they found Cassie and they found Marcus, and he's charged. So thanks, Russell. Russell 3380 says, very glad you started the channel. I've come to rely on you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for being part of it. Yeah. This, Joy says it's a slow process. I see that. That's a quick process. Look at Barry Morphew. Suzanne Morphew is still missing. She hasn't been found yet. And that's going on 2 years in May already. So that's a super slow process. But this is very quick. And to catch the person, you know. I'm just going to, there we go. You do that. Okay. Cat's Gallery says, oh, where was that? I saw you there. I think true crime channels are making law enforcement work better and harder, in my opinion. Well, I know that law enforcement actually watches. I know they watch, I don't know exactly, but I know they do watch my channel. I've been privy to that information. I know they do, but at the same time, like they can help. Look at that Red, White, and Bethune in the Gabby Petito case. Just happened to be a YouTuber and was going camping themselves and then ran into Gabby's van, right? Thank you, Candy. Nope, it is, Lori, it is. So the officer said that her body was found in a barn and in a shallow grave in the barn. He said the barn, in a roundabout way, is connected to Marcus. Thank you, Erica. You guys are so nice today. Look at all the feels. That's so sweet. I see you, Jimmy Hoffa. I see you. That's a very nice things to say, you guys. Catching patterns. Thank you. Making my day too. Sailor is 4 years old. So all right. Yeah, I hope she doesn't remember. I hope there's nothing that was happening in front of her. All right. So you guys, I think that's it for today. And we will chat. Truth and Transparency says, law enforcement did a great job with this case. That was extremely quick. Keep up the good work. Absolutely. Great work for the officers. Thank you so much, Truth and Transparency, for your super chat. Thank you. All right. So everyone, I am going to sign off now. Thank you so much for being with me this afternoon. Unfortunately, it was terrible news. I will keep you updated with Cassie's case, and her autopsy should be tomorrow. And we'll hear soon about what's going on with the charges with Marcus. I'm sure that's going to be upgraded from the sounds of it from today's press conference. If you're just coming in now, rewind back, you'll see the press conference. Also, be sure to check out my video. I did a timeline on Cassie, and you'll be able to see the timeline in detail of what happened this past week, and also some other videos as well. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and then make sure you hit that notification bell. Hopefully you'll get some notifications and then you'll see some more videos. I'm always coming out with new videos each and every single week. I really appreciate you, and thank you so much for watching. Thanks to my moderators today, and thank you guys for joining me. We'll see you later. Have a great Sunday.